and welcome. This is episode 166. Hosting today, Nicole Deal, myself. I have Leila Mohaddes on the line as well. This is a special series. We have a Meet the Team series that we do here on Navigating Now. I'm so excited to bring Leila to the viewers today. Welcome, Leila.
Thanks, Nicole. Great to be here.
Yes. So I know that I have a good insight of who you are because we work very closely together, but um, many people that we work with may not know some of the content that we're going to be sharing with everyone and also the viewers that we have on the line. So let's just kind of dive right in. Does that sound good?
Great.
Cool. So let's start with what brought you to Thoughtium and when did this exactly happen? Were we like 6 months in?
Yeah. So actually, I think it'll be 6 months exactly on Tuesday. Yeah. So yeah, very exciting. I've been here for 6 months. It's been a lot of fun. I'm loving it. But kind of fast forwarding back a few years, I actually started out my career in finance and then kind of was feeling after about maybe a year and a half in a finance role that I was kind of wanting something a little bit more people oriented, and just wanted to kind of have these kinds of like face-to-face interactions a lot more. And so that kind of led me to through a friend from college to the L&D world. And I just loved it. And then that eventually led me to Thoughtium, and I think when I first started talking to folks from Thoughtium, I just loved the way that they spoke about their careers and about the team and just the work that they were doing. And I just was like, wow, I really want to be around people like this. And so that has been true for the last 6 months. The people are awesome. I love this team. And yeah, I'm just having a good time developing my career.
I love that. It makes me think back to when you first started. Amanda, as you know, our chief of staff, she said, when Michael joined, he made the company a little bit more fun. And then when Layla came, she made the team that much more cooler. So you're the cool cat.
Oh, okay.
An honor.
See, I feel like I'm not though, but everyone here keeps saying I'm cool. Maybe that's why I'm liking it so much because everyone says that I'm cool all the time. So
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It could be the SoCal, that you bring forward. So because you're not in
That's true.
Chicago with most of the team, where are you, I guess,
That's
located?
true.
Yeah.
I am our only West Coaster. So usually I sit in Sacramento, and go Kings, light the beam. Got to represent Sac. But right now I'm actually down in Orange County at my parents' house for the holidays.
For the holidays. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, our only West Coast gal. So, gosh, okay, a lot to talk about with your direction and path to Thoughtium. Because finance, that is a funky transition. I'd love to envision you like behind what was like your day-to-day in finance? We don't have to go deep, but
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah. Lot of spreadsheets and like not a lot of meetings, which is like the opposite of here is now I have a lot of meetings, not a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of
Yeah.
slides. And yeah, it was just kind of, yeah, I'd have my big two monitors up, just like headphones on, just kind of grinding on some financial models. And it was fun in a way, like I could do it, but I think I've always been very extroverted. I think I'm on that I'm always like 99% extroverted. So I think I was just kind of like missing that people piece. And then also thinking back to college, a lot of the classes that I really enjoyed most in retrospect were focused on leadership and teaming. And I think I was kind of missing that as well. So L&D I feel like is a great fit.
Yeah, and there's a skill set that you bring to the table, that's so important in L&D that I'd love to unpack a bit with you. If you know where I'm going, do you know where I'm going here? Let's talk creativity.
I think so. Yes.
Okay, good. So, you shared with me before today's call that like this creativity muscle that you've always had, but you've been able to tap into it a bit differently at Thoughtium, and I'd love to just hear what that's been like for you.
Yeah, so one thing that I think is like pretty key to me as a person is I'm also a musician outside of work, and so I grew up playing the piano, playing trumpet. I was always in school jazz bands, orchestra, playing for musicals, and then in college wind ensemble, and then after college had different little bands or duos that I would play with, and so music's always been a big part of my life, and I still perform with like So Far Sounds, which is really fun around Sacramento, and so. I think I've always had this very like creative side that I've tapped into. And when I came to Thoughtium, one thing I really enjoyed about the way people spoke about the work. And I think especially Anthony has talked about this with me, is kind of thinking of your work as your art form or your craft or your discipline. And that was just such a refreshing perspective to hear when I came to Thoughtium, because I was like, oh, like, yes, of course, like my work is my art as well. This is something I'm practicing every day. I'm getting better at, like I do with music. And so I think that was just something that I really enjoyed when I came here to
Yeah,
hear.
I love that. With the like creativity piece, I feel like the word gets a bad rap. It's like either you have it or you don't. And knowing that you are so creative in all which ways, like what's your like take on creativity? Do people just have it or they don't?
No, I hard disagree. I think everyone is creative. Like I guess that's my hot take. I think everyone is creative. I think as humans, we are just innately creative. We have that in us, in all of us. And some people, it's just a matter of tapping into it or not. And I think a lot of people have like this idea that creativity is only for like arts and entertainment, but really it touches everything that we do every day, all the time. It's anytime you're generating a new idea or solving a problem at work or just communicating with someone. Like right now, we're being creative, right?
Mhm.
We're improvising. Just you're going about your day to day. Maybe if you tie your shoes a different way, like everything, there's so much creativity in even little things. Maybe you're trying a new recipe. And so I just think that everyone is creative. I think it's just a matter of tapping into it and giving yourself almost the psychological safety to be able to tap into it,
Mm.
and not having that fear, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, let's unpack that a bit because psychological safety is a huge topic that I think a lot of our viewers are connected to. So it sounds like psychological safety is almost the barrier for people to feel creative. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and I think this has been coming up in our work lately quite a bit, and because we've been diving into some teaming work like together with some of our clients, which has been really exciting. And I think that is kind of a buzzword lately that's been coming up of like psychological safety. You need that for innovation, and I think that is true in teams, and I think that's also true just in an individual sense as well. Just thinking about sometimes I'll sit down with the piano and I will just play. And I don't know what I'm going to play. I'm just going to improvise. I'm just going to see what happens. And in that moment, I feel like I'm giving myself permission to experiment and take that wherever I want to. And it doesn't matter if it's good or if it's going to be bad. It's just like no fear. I'm just going to play and see what happens. And so
Mhm.
I think that's kind of what I'm getting at in the sense of giving ourselves the safety and the permission to be creative.
Yeah. And the term like divergent thinking comes to mind. It's like I I never liked being in that space. Like it felt too messy, but as long as you name like, "Hey, we're gonna brainstorm, we're just gonna ideate, get messy," it's okay because then we can figure out and refine later. So it sounds like I mean, you've showcased that since day one at Thoughtium, and I was gonna say I can only imagine how you are on the piano. But for those listening, I was with Layla was that a week ago?
I can't believe that was only a week ago, but
I know,
yes.
it feels like kind of long, but time is weird around the holidays. We always knew that you played the piano, but I'm not gonna be explicit for our viewers, but I'm like, "Man, you played the heck out of a piano when I was there." So, I can't wait for the team to experience that because it's oh, man, we could just dive into that. It's you have a craft. You are a practitioner in all things, so it's
Thank you. But my nickname at Thought Team actually is Renaissance Woman, so I guess I'm living up to my nickname.
yes. Oh, this is so true. I love it. Okay, so jumping here because we like to have our in our Meet the Team episodes, someone bring an artifact or like something that is just very connected to them. What do you have for our viewers today, Layla?
Yeah, actually, so since I'm at my parents' home right now, this is not the house I grew up in, but they do have the piano here that I grew up playing, and so I'll just pan over, and so there she is.
Oh my god.
So that's my artifact. The amount of hours I spent on that bench growing up, I can't even speak to, but you can also see there's some little clown
Figurines?
statues.
Those are clowns.
Yeah, they're little clown statues. They're definitely not creepy or disturbing at all. No,
Are
they're
they
actually
Christmas
really cute, but
clowns? Christmas clowns or
no, they're year-round clowns.
clowns?
They're
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I
They're
love
always
it.
there. They've always been there. But yeah, that piano is really special to me.
And when did you start playing?
When I was 5 years old. Hmm.
Man, let's all sit with that. What were we doing at 5 years old? I think I was still being creative. I think I was doing finger paints. Not on a piano though. Maybe finger paint.
Yeah, see, kids are so creative because they don't have like that fear yet, I
Yeah.
guess. And so I feel like a lot of what we've been talking about lately too, with regard to like design thinking too, there's so much utility in being able to approach things with kind of that child's mind.
Yes,
Um, but
I love that.
just a thought.
We're gonna have a lot of tidbits and 2 cents on this session. I can already feel it. Okay, different question for you. Ready? So on the topic of like what we do at work, a lot of what we talk about and promote is just growth, development, of course, learning and development, and mindset shifts. So I'd be curious to ask you, since being at Thoughtium, what like perspective shifts or mindset shifts have you gone through?
Yeah, I think like growth mindset has been huge since I started here and specifically like on the personal growth front.
Mm.
And I think like historically, I kind of had this idea of like, okay, I have my personal life, I have my work life, they're separate. And I think since starting here, there's been such an emphasis on us coming to work with our whole selves. And so I think in that sense, having the perspective shift that okay, now when I am doing things to personally develop myself, like that's helping me as a whole person, that's helping the way I show up at work. And so just kind of having this more holistic view of self and personal development. And I think I've been kind of adopting more of a growth mindset lately and really trying to like work on myself as a person. I think it's also been showing up in the way that I work too.
Yeah, it sure has. It plays dividends. Because I know, just to name like a few things that you've recently gotten into, yoga, meditation, like we could talk neuroscience behind that all the time, but what maybe like in the moment shifts or just I guess those two elements that you've introduced to your just way of being, like how has yoga and maybe meditation changed you?
Yeah, I think so. I started yoga about 6 weeks ago at this really awesome studio in Sacramento called Soulfire that I love. And yeah, just about 6 weeks ago, I started going, and it was kind of. I remember we had had a conversation, and I was kind of in this mood, and I was just like, man, I really just feel like I need to do something new. I need to get out of my house. I need to just kind of do something fresh. And I went to my first class, and I was so hooked, and it was so much fun, and I just felt like no pun intended, like I felt more balanced, I guess,
Yeah.
both like on and off the mat, and just so much more present. I think I've like noticed that just going about my day to day, I don't have as much just like anxiety thinking about oh, what's coming up tomorrow, what's coming up next, but just kind of like being more present in the moment. And so yeah, those are probably like the two biggest takeaways, and I think those are kind of some of my big themes, kind of going into 2024. Just kind of like balance, stability, being present.
Yeah. And it makes me like to, I guess, bring it full circle. It also, like yoga, meditation, just the mindfulness practice overall, like enhances our creativity. So for those who are like, I don't have it, maybe start with yoga or meditation and you'll see that you're a little bit more creative than you thought. Another hot.
Also, one last thing too is I think just whenever you take up something new and you are learning that thing and you feel yourself growing, that kind of like emphasizes that growth mindset piece as well. Because I think I always had this idea like, oh no, I'm not flexible, oh no, I'm bad at yoga, but now it's like, oh no, like every time I go I get a little bit stronger. And just kind of like having that more dynamic view of self and doing something that I always thought that I would just be bad at
Mhm.
has been huge.
Yeah. Oh, you're bringing up another good point. It's like humans, we love to just think of things in extremes. So it's either it's right, wrong, um, like I'm good at it or I'm not. There's a lot of like gray area. And again, like the creativity, there's just a lot that is in the middle that we can make it like our own and just doesn't have to be right or wrong. It's just it is what it is and we can grow from it. Mm,
Exactly.
I love it. All right. Well, you know what's coming next. We
Oh
are gonna do
geez.
our lightning round, and for those who don't know
Oh,
about this, We like to throw a few questions on the spot to our Meet the Team members, or even just anyone for that matter who we host on Navigating Now. But I've thrown in a few more like holiday-esque questions.
Oh,
And
okay.
a little theme here. So my first one for you, your favorite like Christmas gift that like stands out over the years that you just remember loving as maybe a kid, maybe it was last year. Favorite Christmas.
Mm. I think what stands out, and this is because recently my sister has been going through kind of some of our old home videos, and this was one that she sent to me, and I think I was probably like 8 or whenever like the iPod Nano like color one with like the little
Yes.
screen and the click wheel. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, iPod
I'm
Shuffle,
gonna
not the Shuffle, but you said Nano. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah, I think it was like the Nano with that still had the click wheel. So it
Yeah.
was that I think I got when I was maybe, yeah, like around 8, and it was hot pink, and I was so excited. That was my first iPod, and I loaded it all with like Hannah Montana, and that was probably my favorite
That's a hot
Christmas gift.
take. Hannah Montana first on the
Yeah.
list. Oh man. That's a good follow-on question. Like who was the first artist you downloaded when music downloading first became? And yours was Hannah Montana.
Apparently, yeah. Also the Black Eyed Peas. It was probably
Ooh,
like all Hannah Montana and Black Eyed Peas, which
I
is
could
a
see that.
fun combination.
I like that. Oh, very good. All right, let's go to another one. Oh, this one's not Christmas related, but I just was curious for your answer selfishly. So if you could marry an actor or actress, I guess, who would it be?
Ooh, if I could marry an actor? Oh my gosh. I feel like this is just on my mind. Like, what's his name? Timothy Chalamet, the new Willy Wonka.
Really? Oh,
He's
fun.
very cute.
He is cute.
Yeah, I guess he's also kind of the first actor I thought of. I don't really know a lot of actors' names. If I thought about it for longer, I could probably think of more, but
Yeah.
that's the first one that popped into my head.
My surprise was not for necessarily your answer. It's because he's a young Wonka.
He is a young Wonka. I think he is like my age though in real life.
Okay.
So it's not creepy,
No,
but yeah, I think that's a very Gen Z answer of me, but
that's okay. And
we'll
you're
go
on
with
the
him.
cusp anyway, so you can
Yeah.
dive in Gen Z, millennial, whatever you want. Today's your Meet the Team episode. All right, here's another question for you. Your favorite vacation spot?
Ooh, that's a good one. Where did we go? I would say that I've been to. I
Yes.
loved last time that my fiance Matt and I went to Hawaii. We got to scuba together, which was really fun. So that's one of my favorite
And fun
things that
fact,
we
you're a
did together.
certified scuba diver.
Yes, yes.
Certified.
Renaissance woman, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Yes, love to scuba. Yeah, we got to see like turtles. I saw an octopus in real life, which was amazing. You can hear like the whales singing underwater. Um, yeah, highly recommend.
What an experience. I'll have to add that to the list. I've done snorkeling, but that hits different than scuba diving, I'm sure. Hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, very good. Okay. Final question for the people.
Oh my gosh, there's one more.
There's one more. Okay. Fill in the blank here. Well, think of one first, think of a quality about yourself that seems like very strong and true to you, and then fill in the blank here. If the world were more like Layla, it would be
Mm, I'm gonna go sensitive.
that checks out. You're a sensitive
Yeah,
woman.
I'm a sensitive being.
But it serves us so well in the L&D space because like you really tap into how other people are going to receive stuff. So we use it as a gift. Your gift. Thanks for playing.
I know, I want to like ask all these questions back to you, but I'll save that for our next
Maybe
one-on-one.
we'll do like a little, yeah, we'll swap seats here. I'll play in the Meet the Team and then you can host. Stay
Yeah.
tuned, everybody. Stay tuned, viewers. Oh, well, this was great. Thank you, Layla. Everyone, this is one of my favorite colleagues, and I know I'm not allowed to say that, but we have Layla here, the coolest member of the Thoughtium team. That is not just coming from me, that is coming from the entire group here. So I'm glad you all got to get a little taste of Layla. on episode 166. So this is Navigating Now. You can tune in at thoughtium.com/live. Happy holidays, everyone. And that's all we wrote.